Howdy, y'all. Going to look at exercise 10.1 that starts on page 328. This is actually the solution file, what it'll look like when we're done with our form. But for now, let's go ahead and open up in the chapter 10, chapter 10 data files folder, the payment HTML file. All right, so notice we do have 4 different divisions. Nothing is in them at this point. I'll go ahead and run this so we can see what we have now and then the updates. Here's what we have now, nothing. Okay. So we'll start with this and then later we'll have to open up the CSS. So step 2 says add the HTML code for the 2 radio buttons and the group that contains them to the first division. Code the credit card option so it's selected when the form is displayed. Okay, so we're in the billing area here. First, we're going to go field set. I'm going to create my close. And then we're going to do a legend. And what that'll do is we'll have our billing title there, and then it'll surround that whole area with the border for us. So legend, billing, let's just take a quick look, see what we have. Yep, there we go. So now we'll add our 2 options and we'll tell it to choose credit card by default when the page loads. All right, input type equals radio, name equals billing, ID equals bill 1, value equals credit underscore card. And then checked. I'm just doing it the way that they have it here. Here's where they're writing credit card. And now they go in and do the next one. And so I am just going to copy and paste this and then tweak it. So radio, billing, bill 2. This one should be value of bill underscore cust for customer. And then this should be bill customer. I think that sets it up. Oh, we want to get rid of the checked here because we don't want that one checked by default. So refresh. I can choose the other one. Now when I refresh, it should go back and load with credit card. Yep, so that's good. Okay. Step 3. Add 3 paragraphs to the second division. The first one should contain the list box and its associated label. The second one should contain the text box and its associated label. And the third one should contain the 2 drop-down lists and their associated label. So what they're referring to is these 3 items here: credit card type, card number, and expiration date. It says the list box should display 3 options at a time, and the first option should be selected by default. The drop-down list for the expiration month should contain 1 option for each of the 12 months of the year. The drop-down list for the expiration year should contain an option for the current year plus the next 4 years. All right, so this one's going to take a little bit, but that's okay. So we're down here in our credit card division. And the first thing I'm going to do, because we know that we have 3 different paragraphs, so I'm going to just create those tags quick. So there are 3 paragraphs within the division. Let's go into the first one. And we're going to say label for equals CC type credit card type and a closing label tag. Next, we are going to go select name equals CC underscore type again. ID equals CC underscore type. And size, here's where we get our 3. So we see 3 options. I'm gonna close this select element. And now I'm gonna add our 3 options. So the first one, option value equals Visa. We want this one selected, so we're typing selected. And then here's what we actually see, Visa capitalized. And then close that option. I'm going to go ahead and save and refresh quick to see what we have so far. All right, credit card type, there's our first one. So it looks like it's working so far. You'll notice this is not aligned at the top, and I think we'll get to that later. I'm going to copy and paste this. Oops. Twice here. I'm going to delete the selected part for each. Change this to MC. Change this to MasterCard. Change the last one to Amex. Change this to American Express. All right. I think everything's good there. Yep, that looks good so far. Notice when I click one and refresh, it'll go back and choose the default when it loads. So that's good. All right. So that's this P element. Let's jump down to this one. Here's where we are creating our card number. So the first thing we need to do is our label. CC underscore no for card number. Card number colon, and then the closing label. Input type is text. Name equals CC underscore no. and then close it out. So let's test that out quick. Looks good. Go back, go to our last P element. This is the one that's going to take a while. All right. So label for expiration month. Just forgot my equals. Expiration date colon is what we want for that label. Now select name equals X month, ID equals X month underscore month. I'm gonna close that before I forget, and then create our options. I'll create this first option and then copy it and paste it 12 times and tweak each of those. So 1 is for January. And now I'm gonna paste 12 of these. 1, 2, oh, but I'm gonna be picky about it. 12, I believe. We'll find out. Now I'm just going to go through and do each of these quick. 2, 3. All right, so those are all gravy. Now we have to type in our months. Sound effects always help. All right, let's see what we have so far. That looks good. Now we need our second part for the years. So another select name equals year, ID equals X year. Now our options. There's 10. Oh, they wanted our current year. You can see how old the book is. Wow. 2020. 2020. And I'm going to copy this 4 times. And just change these. and change these. Save and refresh. Good. Okay, now we're to the next one. Step 4, add a paragraph that contains the code for the checkbox to the third division. This box should be checked when the form is first displayed. So right here. So we're adding. Let's go down to this third division. And we're going to first create a paragraph. And all sorts of buttons here. There we go. Within that paragraph, we're going to go input type equals checkbox, name equals default, ID equals default, value equals default. And then checked. And here is where we will have our wording. So set as default billing method. And that should be it. Let's check it out. Okay. It's next to it right now, so I'm not sure if it should be, and we're supposed to come back to that later to fix that. Let's see. It's in its own division. That'll be something we come back to fix. Step 5 is the last part. Add a paragraph that contains the code for 2 buttons to the fourth division. Code the first button as a submit button, so the data on the form will be submitted when the button is clicked. Code the second button so it'll reset the controls of the form when it's clicked. Okay, let's go down here. This one's fairly simple too. If I'm in the process division, I am again going to add a paragraph, and within that I'll go input type, submit, ID equals submit, value equals submit, actually we'll go capital. They have a capital in the image, so this one will capitalize because that's what's going to show up on the actual button. Next we're going to go input type equals reset. Save, refresh. So if I type some stuff in here, I'm just curious what the reset will do. Okay, it works. And right now when I hit submit, it pulls this up. Okay. I'm going to format the form, page 329, step 6. Display the form in a browser to make sure all the controls are displayed. Then use your text editor to open the payment CSS file. All right, here's my payment CSS file. Go ahead and open that up. Not much there right now. It says add properties to the rule set for the body of the page so the text on the form is displayed in a sans serif font at 90% of the font size. So we'll go ahead and do that quick. font family, Arial, Helvetica, sans serif. And remember, we do 3 of those because it's just in case the first option or the second option isn't there, then there's a more broad one with any sans serif font at the end. And font size 90%. Okay, it got slightly smaller. Font style did not change. Step 8, add a rule set for the 3 labels on the form. This rule set should float the labels to the left and set the width of the labels to 8 ems. So let's do that quick. So label left squiggly, we're going to float left, and we are going to change the width to 8 ems, which remember, they're not plural when you plug them in here. Be sure to close that rule set with a right squiggly bracket. Okay, that looks a little bit better. I'm going to keep going here, and then if we have to fix some of the spacing items, such as this, we'll go ahead and do that. I don't know if it's one of the steps or not. So test the form. Step 10. In the browser, click on Bill Customer option to select it. Notice that the credit card option is no longer selected. Yeah. Then select a credit card type other than Visa. Enter a credit card number. Just plug some numbers in. And you can change this. Reset button should work. Take you back there. Click the submit button. This is step 12. This should send the data to the web page that's specified in the form element payment_summary.html because the form was submitted via the get method, and you should be able to see the data that's submitted at the end of the URL for that page. So if I go way to the end of this, there's all the data up there, right? So get is one of the options, and it's not a very secure option. I'm just reading through the rest of 12. You can just click the back button. It says change the submit method in the form element from get to post, then refresh the page to enter more data and click submit. So let's just go back here to our HTML, and we want to look up top here at get and change this to post. Go ahead and save that. Come back, refresh this. Enter more data or make a couple changes here. And then hit submit. So notice this time this payment summary page is displayed, but you won't be able to see it on the screen or up here at the end of the URL because the data is hidden with the post option. It wants us to go ahead and switch it back to get. And then it says test it again, and it should show us both in the window. I changed it back, saved it, come back here, submit. Now we can see it again, both there in the window and at the end of the URL. So that's our last step. So I do have an issue here with my spacing. So let me try to fix that. So expiration date, let's see. I'm just looking at everything I've got here. Oh, I think I see it. I did not create a closing tag for my select element here. So my guess is if I save and refresh, there we go, and it shifts down. All right, I think that's a wrap. Have a great day as always, and I'll get this posted to Classroom.